All right, guys. Well, we've got a lot of issues with Dave's Bentley. I know there's one problem that I can solve in this video today.
So are you gonna fix the front grille?
Nah, not today.
What about the rear suspension?
The air ride that's currently slammed?
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna fix that.
Maybe the lights on the dash?
Nah, error codes, I'm not worried about those.
What are we fixing then?
The exhaust, it sounds terrible. So Dave put some downpipes on this thing and it does not sound good. So if you guys saw the last Bentley video, Dave actually put some downpipes on this thing. Dave actually worked on the car, which worries me a bit, but either way, he put some downpipes on the car and it does not sound good. The muffler, something is resonating. It just sounds terrible. So it's time for me to solve that problem. So this exhaust sounds terrible, but we also need it to shoot flames. That's gonna come with the tune. But with this muffler that's on the car currently, we're not gonna be able to shoot flames. It's not gonna look good. So I'm gonna make some straight pipes for the rear. I'm also not a fan of these fake dual tips that are on this car, but because of that opening, it's super long, oval, and it's not very tall. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to get a 3-inch tube out of the back and have it look good, but we need to get the mufflers off the car first and see what we have to work with. I'm gonna start this car up and let you guys listen to see what it sounds like. And this is probably the last time you're ever gonna hear it like this, because after today, it's gonna be straight pipe, and I hope it sounds way better than it does right now. So what do you guys think? I mean, personally, I think it sounds terrible. That's a twin turbo 4-liter V8, and it does not sound impressive at all. All right, so before I start chopping up the exhaust system on this Bentley, I'm gonna give Dave a call and just go over the plans with him and make sure that he's on the same page that I'm on.
What's up, bro? How are you guys?
Hey, what's up, Dave? We're gonna do the exhaust today. I just wanna make sure that was cool, but all the aero stuff just doesn't really seem like it's gonna come together like we were talking about before. I can't really figure out a way to make the aero look good on this car like we did on the Mercy.
Well, it's actually a bigger issue. I got a friend at Bentley, believe it or not, and he's like, hey, did you deal with the whole massive recall issue?
What's that?
What are you talking about? Well, the accelerator in 2018 or 2019, 2021 Bentley GTs get stuck at full throttle. And he's like, you need to go get that looked at and make sure it's been replaced immediately, or else this car's not safe to drive. So we need to figure out if that car is even safe to drive, and then what that process looks like. I don't know. But he's like pretty adamant how serious it is.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's accelerator being stuck at full throttle is not good. I mean, obviously you could put it in neutral, but if you're full throttle and somebody's stopping in front of you and you go to lift off the throttle and it's still going, that's a big problem.
Like you mentioned earlier, the whole idea for doing an interim build like we did on the Mercy is not going to work. You know, I get what you're saying, and I trust what you know what you're looking at. So cancel the build for now. Finish the exhaust. See if you can get it loud, because honestly, it didn't sound that good.
It does not sound.
And then I do need you to call Jason at PFS and tell him to cancel the livery. The livery I picked on that car was so wild. It would only work with a full kit on it. He blocked out the whole week. You probably won't be happy. And then I need you to call AL13 and cancel the wheels that they're cutting for that car.
Cancel the wheels too?
Like, yeah, we're all in or we're no in.
Okay, so just exhaust then. Just
do the exhaust, then I need to figure out what I'm doing with this car, if I'm gonna keep it or sell it. Because that's where we're at right now. It's all the things I'm trying to accomplish aren't working. Now there's a whole recall on it, and that's to be an issue. I don't know what that's gonna involve. Like, let's just move on to something else.
So you want me to call PFS and AL13 and cancel everything?
Yep. I would, but I'm just swamped in this rally, man. I also don't want to, because it's not going to be happy.
I don't want to either, but I'll do it for you, Dave.
That's sometimes how it goes. Jason definitely will be not that happiest. Adrian will be pissed because they're already cutting the wheels.
Oh, shit.
I don't know how that'll work, so I'm going to leave that in your leadership.
All right.
But I'm just crossing the state. I'm going to North Carolina right now, so I don't think cell phones are allowed in the state. I think it's a state with no communications with the outside world. So I gotta run.
All right, talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye. Wow. It sounds like we have a lot more issues than just the issues that we pointed out earlier. I'm still gonna do the exhaust today, and I'm still gonna drive the car. I've driven a lot of cars with throttle cables that have gotten stuck on me before. Push the clutch in, put it in neutral, whatever. I'm not worried about that. We're gonna get this car up on the rack to do the exhaust system, because that's something I can actually do here. But first, we need to wash this thing. It is terribly filthy, and I hate working on dirty cars. Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we have a brand new partner here at DDE, and I can't wait to tell you about them. All right, guys, so I raced professionally for 14 years, and during that time, I had a lot of different partners, but I only wanted to work with brands that I truly believed in, where I could promote their product and feel good about it, and know that I'm using their product on my own cars. So I'm really excited that we found a partner here at DDE that we truly believe in. But instead of telling you about their product, let's head out and go grab some of it. We're at AutoZone. Let's head inside and go grab some Bling sauce. That's right, we've partnered up with Bling sauce, and Bling sauce is now available in AutoZone, which has over 6,000 locations in the US alone. So you can head out to AutoZone today and pick yourself up some Bling sauce. So they've got the trim sauce, the leather sauce, and the secret sauce. And right now, if you head over to AutoZone and you buy 2, you get $4 off. So we're gonna pick up a few of these and save some money. Get to AutoZone right now and pick up some Bling sauce. This deal is too good to pass up. I think I'm gonna go grab some more. There might not be any left on the shelves, so you guys need to head to AutoZone right now and pick some up. So I just saved $12 by buying my Bling sauce at AutoZone. So, hey, that's free money. Whew. This thing is filthy. Let's head back to the shop and clean this Bentley up. Go get yourself some Bling sauce. We use it here at DDE. We absolutely love it. It is high quality product and it keeps our cars looking good. So head over to AutoZone right now and go get yourself some and save some money while you're doing it. You guys are still here? Go to AutoZone now. Get some Bling sauce. All right, so now that the Bentley is all cleaned up, we're gonna get this thing on the rack and start checking out the exhaust system. So this car does already have an aftermarket muffler system on it. It's not the entire exhaust system, it's just in the rear of the car. I'm not sure what it is. So when we get it up, pull those mufflers off, we'll be able to see them a little bit better. But basically, it's got a canister, there's packing in there, and it's muffling it down. It's a muffler. We want a straight pipe. If we want to be able to shoot flames, we want fuel to come right out of the tip and not go into all that packing, possibly burning it up, and it's just not gonna sound great with the way it is. So we got the Bentley up, and I'm looking at these aftermarket mufflers. This section is actually really nice. It's proper stainless mandrel bent tubing, and then we get to the muffler. So I think what I'm gonna do is just utilize all of this stuff that's already here and cut it off over here and then make this section. There's no reason to remake the rest of it. It fits really nice. It goes into the factory clamps. It's got a brace that keeps them together so they don't float apart. That's all good. Just the mufflers that we need to address. So we're gonna pull this panel off and then possibly take the mufflers down, or seeing how much room we have, we might actually just be able to get the Sawzall in there and cut that nice and clean.
Sawzall.
Sawzall on the Bentley.
You excited, Tim?
Yes. Favorite tool.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Come on, Tim, get it done. Get it done, Tim.
I'm going.
Get it done, Tim.
I'm going.
Get it done, you got it. Something tells me there's gonna be a whole bunch of dirt when this thing comes off.
You know what, there's actually probably not, because we did pull this panel off when we were looking at trying to make a diffuser for this thing. So I was like, yeah, pull it off. And then I saw all of that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this maybe is the air pump, right? So that's the little air compressor that fills up this air ride tank. And on this side, we've got, I think, a charcoal canister, a bunch of lines and stuff over here. And that is really low. Like, this is about probably 2 inches off the ground when the car is at ride height. If we put the diffuser on here, it would literally just be right here. We can't go up any higher. Looking at it, the diffuser just did not look good. And without the diffuser, the side skirts don't look good. Also, this car is really round and kind of bulbous. Anything we make out of sheet metal is gonna be pretty sharp, right? It's flat edges, just doesn't really flow with the car. So that's why we decided to pull the plug on that part of it. I think it would just look kind of cheap and wouldn't look that cool. So I had to tell Dave, we can't do it. It's not gonna work.
I'm pretty bummed that the Bentley is not gonna get built the way that we originally planned, but it makes sense. This thing is not the easiest car to put aero on. I mean, even just the front bumper. Like, to put a canard on this little spot right here, Mike brought that up and I was like, yeah, maybe not put a canard this big on it.
We're ready.
Oh man.
Get my gloves on.
You ready to cut, Tim?
Yeah, I'm ready to cut. I'll be doing the cutting here, Tim.
go.
All right. Oof. Yeah, look at those smash down tips to try to get them to fit these factory floating tips. I'm gonna try to ditch these. I think if we put tubes out of there, if I split it in two and we're trying to get it to shoot flames, two is gonna be, obviously, it'd be smaller flames out of each one. I'd rather have one single tube there. That'd be a more intense kind of like focused flame. So I'm gonna unbolt these and see if I can get a just a 3-inch piece of stainless tubing, basically from here out to here, and have it look good. It doesn't need to literally look like a tip. I don't care if it's shiny. I wanna ditch these things. They just don't look good.
All these newer cars with their fake exhaust tips, sometimes there's not even an exhaust behind it. This one actually at least has an exhaust behind it, but it's not even connected. If you come back here,
Well, obviously
there's
it's
like-
not connected anymore.
no, this one is not cut yet.
That's true, that's
but there's an air gap, so technically the air could just go around the tip.
Yeah,
That's
these things
so
have
whack.
like a couple inch gap over there between the end of the muffler.
Like
and
some manufacturers will put it like so that it goes into the tip at least a little bit, but still, it's still a fake tip. There's no point in having it.
I don't get it. And it
Those
doesn't
are
even
the ones
look
that
good.
like dump down too when they have an exhaust.
Oh yeah, and it's like, oh, you could obviously see that the exhaust is pointing at the ground and there's just tips there. Or electric cars with tips.
Electric cars with tips. Sheesh. This thing's fighting me. That's like, look at that. It's a very
that's like
big,
quite the step.
Big step there. All right. You know what we're probably gonna have to do? We're probably gonna have to take these flap actuators and put them back on the car, even though they're not gonna work, because
so it won't freak out.
exactly, all these cars throw so many codes when you just disconnect something. So we're gonna have to pull those off and put them in the car somewhere so it thinks it's still functioning. We got some 3-inch stainless tubing. I'm gonna see how it fits. When Tim gets these tips out, put it through there and just kind of get an idea of how it looks, if it's actually gonna fit. I think we have about 4 inches, so we should have about a 1/2 inch clearance top and bottom. It might look a little odd because that opening is so big and oval. We'll have to see how it looks once we get those tips out of here. Let's see how this is gonna look.
I think it looks perfect just like that.
Good.
I like it. Single exit.
Single
Single
exit.
exit.
Long tip. Yeah, it looks terrible. You can either make a piece of aluminum that's like a filler, so it just has a single hole in the middle. Obviously the bumper still has that shape. Or I tried to do something with 2 tips, or I tried to do something with a fake tip.
No fake tips.
No fake tips. I don't know, what do you think?
Hear me out. It's kind of crazy.
All right,
I got this idea from your first idea. Your aluminum piece. Cover this up.
Yep.
Then pipe right here out the side.
It's got a lot of room in here for activities. You could just kick that out.
I could, but
And you
on an
should.
otherwise stock body Bentley besides the front splitter, rear exit, side exit bumper exhaust really makes sense.
Yeah, it'll
Think about how
keep the
flames
tires
will
warm.
cascade from.
Yeah, I think we're gonna come out of the stock location. I'm just not sure how yet. Oof. Terrible.
Type R exhaust, 3 down the middle.
We can't go through the middle.
Man, you guys are killing me.
Mike, I brought you something. Look at the shape. It's like it was made for it.
What is that off of?
That one.
Change of plans. We're gonna put these back. There's just not really any good way to make another tip fit in that opening and make it look good. So I think we're stuck with these, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna put that 3-inch pipe offset to one side. And I think in this section right here, I'll probably just tack weld a piece of steel, paint it black so you don't see when you're looking through the hole that it has a, you know, nothing behind it basically. So the other side will have that 3-inch exhaust coming through there. When it shoots flames, it's only gonna come out of the closest to the middle. Yeah, some cars are just hard to work with. Has a really odd shape opening in the rear bumper. I wanted to cut all that stuff off and put a diffuser, but it's just not gonna work out. So this is the best compromise that we can come up with. And I think even in the future, I don't know if we're gonna be able to find something that's gonna fit in that spot and make it look any better than, unfortunately, the original tips.
I heard that.
Ooh, you got a freshie?
Freshie, these are so much better. Like, this chop saw is great, but the blades are not that great. These blades are so much better. Look at that cut. Yeah, that's a nice cut.
Hear me out, Mark. A little tire warmer.
That just shoots the flames right there.
Got this piece cut out here. That is going to fill in this section, and it's got the correct amount of bend in it, or at least it should. That looks good. So now I can tack weld this and this together, sand this down a little bit, get it to fit nice, and then I can weld it on the car. Before I do that, I'm gonna cut the tip down on that end, because right now I've got it jammed all the way inside there. That's gonna rub, it's gonna vibrate, so I'm gonna have to give it some clearance. I just wanted to leave it long to make sure I had enough after I added this piece in. So what do you think, Tim? How do you think this is gonna sound?
Well, it's gonna be louder for sure. I don't know as far as pitch, because now that it doesn't have that muffler to like bounce the noise around in, hopefully it's not too farty or raspy.
Yeah, I think, you know, there was that one Audi that came
Yes.
over here before, and I think that was straight piped also.
That was kind of raspy. I'm not gonna
Kinda
lie.
raspy,
So
yeah.
hopefully it's not like that too much. I'm hoping that it sounds like pretty deep and just loud.
I hope so too, but I don't know. Never done an exhaust on one of these cars before, so let's just try it and see how it sounds.
Well, it's gonna be louder for sure, at least. That's
It
that's a
should be.
positive.
I mean, looking at the muffler and where it, you know, where it comes in and where they exit, it's offset a bunch, so that usually means it quiets it down quite a bit.
There's got to be like some flaps in there where it bounces back and forth a little bit.
All right, so I'm gonna weld these together on the bench here, and then I'll take these over to the car, bring the welder over there, and I'll weld the rest on the car, because trying to get that exhaust off is gonna be kind of a pain. It's gonna be easier to just weld it when it's all together on the car. All right, so Tim is gonna finish getting this all sanded down. The Sawzall cut is a little bit curved, so he's just gonna flatten that out so we can get this tube welded on there straight. But I gotta call Jason at PFS and break the news to him that we are not going to wrap this car, and hopefully they haven't started printing the vinyl yet and getting all that stuff cut.
Thank you for calling PFS. This is Kyle.
Hey Kyle, it's Michael over at Daily Driven Exotics. How are you?
Hey, good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Unfortunately, Dave has sent me to be the bearer of bad news. We're gonna have to pull the plug on the Bentley project, so we will not be bringing the Bentley over to you guys. I hope you guys haven't started printing stuff already.
Yeah, I mean, we've been looking forward to that, but I hear you, man. No worries. That sounds good. I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, sorry, I know it's super last minute. You know, we had those big plans for that crazy livery on the car, but we just weren't able to execute the rear diffuser, the side skirts, the wing, the dive planes, all the stuff that we wanted to do to make it look like a race car for that livery to really work. It's just not feasible on this car. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. We'll follow y'all's lead. We're totally good, and we stand by, ready for the next one, my friend.
I'm sure we'll have something else for you, and instead of calling you at the last minute and telling you we're not gonna do a car, I'm sure we'll call you at the last minute and tell you, hey, guess what, we're doing a different car. So just, you know, just be ready for that.
We'll be ready to go cut out with you, man. No worries.
Right on, man. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, and
Take care. Tell
All
me
right.
if you said hey.
All right, man, we'll do. Thank you.
Awesome. See ya.
All right, bye. All right. So that went pretty well. Thankfully, we worked with PS Best for a long time. Those guys are awesome over there. We throw them last minute projects all the time. This was actually planned out for a while, and they were ready. They had a time slot and everything for us to basically bring the car over. Now they won't have a slot, but they've got so many people waiting in line. I'm sure they can slot somebody else in and take care of somebody else's car. So no big deal, but now I gotta get a hold of Adrian at AL13. I haven't been able to get a hold of him yet. I'm gonna try to call him again, but if I don't get a hold of him, I think we might just have to drive over there. Sometimes the guys have the machines running all day long, the CNCs and all that, and it's loud in the shop and they're busy. So I just want to make sure that they're not cutting those wheels right now or getting ready to cut them tomorrow.
One side done, looks super good. Mike, we're moving on to the next side. How's it going?
It's going all right. It's a little difficult to weld upside down like this, but
I'm sure of all of the difficult welding you've done, this is probably on the easier side.
it's not like welding a roll gauge upside down in a car for hours and hours on end. So yeah, this is, not that bad.
All right, both sides are all welded up. Tim, are you ready to hear this thing, dude?
Uh-huh.
So what is the concern right now?
That it sounds terrible.
That's one. All right, what are your thoughts, Mike?
It's either gonna sound good or it's not. I hope it sounds good, but we'll see. Just gonna have to start this thing up.
It's a real bummer that we're not gonna be able to go all the way on this car and make it full race car, but if it sounds really sick, I think that'll make up for a lot of it. I really hope that it sounds good. For Tim's sake.
What?
All right, the under tray is going back on. And then what? Cold start time?
Cold. Well, I don't know if it's cold, but
Warm start? Medium start time?
medium start, medium well.
So the other problem with this car is the air suspension in the rear. I'm not sure what's going on there. We put it in lift mode. It should have worked, but either way, when this car sits for more than like an hour, the rear just drops down. I don't know what's wrong with it. Doesn't have any error codes except for the fact that it says it's too low. All right, moment of truth. We got the straight pipes on here now. Let's see how it sounds.
You ready, Tim?
I hope it sounds a lot better.
Whoa! Dude! That's crazy! Whoa!
Dude, it's so loud.
What? So much louder.
It's way louder. That's
Whoa! Dude, it sounds good.
It does. Oh, man.
Whoa! It actually sounds way better. It's really deep.
So different. It's crazy. Dude, it sounds mean as hell now.
yeah, it's not raspy at all. It's pretty good.
All right, Tim. This is it, brother. Let's see what this thing sounds like, dude.
I hope we can actually hear the turbos like pretty loud when he's on the throttle.
Oh, he's getting ready.
Oh!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! He was in reverse. Oh, dude, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty mean now.
Oh my goodness, the pops are so loud. Dude, the pops are so much louder.
It is so much louder. I put it in reverse and it did not like going from reverse into neutral and it went back into reverse.
That's super weird. Why would you want that?
I don't know.
Wouldn't you want it to kick into neutral?
I was in reverse backing up.
Yeah.
And I clicked it into neutral, try to rev it, like.
Woo! Hold on. Let me get another rev. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is way louder. I think it sounds better too. I'm not a huge fan of the burbles and pops, but I don't know if this car really has a tune. Maybe it just sounds like that.
It's got a little bit of a chop right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, little boat chop.
Yeah, it sounds like a boat.
Yeah, dude.
Well, it's way, way better. From in here, it sounds way better. How does it sound from outside?
It sounds pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
It sounds really good.
Yeah.
Dude, we gotta take this thing out.
Yeah, dude.
It sounds sick.
We gotta get it fully loaded up. All the weight, all the boost.
4 passengers.
Kinda like that.
Oh my gosh. Dude, it sounds
It's,
awesome.
moving.
Yeah, Mike's going crazy.
I think he's enjoying the noise he just made.
Dude, this thing is so heavy. It feels like it has more power too.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems like it's spinning all the tires.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it didn't do that before. All right, upgrades. Hell yeah.
Why is it doing that? It didn't
Oh
do that
my
before.
gosh. Go ahead, Mike. Woo!
I don't think it did that.
Bro!
Dude, we gotta get it to shoot flames.
Oh my gosh!
That sounds wild.
That sounds crazy.
Dude, that's crazy. Like, you can hear the turbos now. It's like it just woke this thing up.
Yeah.
It's pretty rad. All right, it was worth it. too bad that we're not gonna be able to do all the mods that we wanted to do, the diffuser, wing, the side skirts, dive planes, all that kind of stuff. Maybe in the future, Dave will keep this car and we will put the GT3 body kit on it, but that's up in the air at this point. I think it sounds a lot better now. We can do a flame tune. I think Dave will enjoy the car a bit more like that. Maybe that'll motivate him to spend the $100,000 or whatever it is for that race kit. Time will tell.
Dave, you ready to hear this Bentley, dude?
I am ready to hear a loud Bentley, but I'm worried because it sounds like Bentley's going in the garbage dump.
Well, I think it sounds pretty good. Tim, you wanna let him hear this thing?
I got you. Hold on, let me flip it.
He doesn't need to see it to hear it.
He needs to hear it.
Well, you know, some people are visual learners.
Visual hearers.
Actual V8 now.
Yeah, and you can hear the turbos too. I don't know if it's coming across the phone, but you can hear like the turbo whine also.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you. I'm pumped. I wish it was here right now. I'd rather take that the rest of the rally than the squadron course. But we've done half a rally on those seats and ass is killing me.
Yeah, yeah.
And also from driving the squadron course though.
Yeah, it's just like stiff and uncomfortable.
Here's a real fun news. I was talking to a guy on the rally, and he's like, if you have a recall for a safety item and the car's heavily modified, they might not do the recall.
That is a very good possibility. We have to figure out what the recall is, figure out what the solution is, and then probably buy the parts and do it ourselves. The real issue is that because of that, that will never be off of the recall list. So this car will always be on a recall list.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Your audience is gonna hate this. If I listed the car for sale, get the exhaust done, make it look cool, right? Take the money and start another project. Maybe it's time to wrap this Bentley up, sell it, and go on to the next one.
Looking at traffic right now, we are not going to be able to make it over to AL13 before they close, but we did leave them a couple messages, so hopefully when they get in tomorrow morning, they'll check their messages, call us back, because we told them, hey, stop everything, don't cut the wheels, stop what you're doing. So we'll see what happens. All right, well, now that we got the exhaust system done and it sounds much better, I want to drive the car and make sure we don't have any rattles or anything weird to have a destination rather than just drive around randomly. We're gonna go and get the nitrous refilled. And I also brought a second bottle so we can fill that one too, because I know Dave is pretty nitrous happy. He's gonna use that nitrous quite a bit. So, woo, that thing sounds good. Let's go fill these bottles up and do some purging.
How is it driving the brand new and improved Bentley?
It sounds much better. I can't tell if it's like really a whole lot faster. It does feel more responsive though. I like the way it sounds. Just checking the throttle, make sure it's not getting stuck.
Dude, it sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. I'm surprised that just that little adjustment did that much.
Yeah, I know. Just removing the mufflers and doing that straight pipe.
Hit the upshift. Yeah.
And we have arrived. 2 bottles filled up. This thing is a lot heavier now. We got some nitrous in it.
Oh, icy.
Woo!
There you go.
All right, we're back in business.
Dude, that's so sweet.
We got the nitrous filled up in this thing. We got that new exhaust. I'm gonna go drive this thing around a bit.
Dude, it's easy to say this car sounds nothing like it did before.
No, not anything like it did before. It's pretty crazy. And to think that it was actually aftermarket mufflers.
Yeah.
I thought it was stock the whole time.
That's pretty crazy.
Unfortunately, we're not able to complete the build the way we wanted to, with the rear diffuser, with the side skirts, with a wing and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, livery and wheels. Maybe in the future, we'll get that race car kit for the Bentley. We don't know yet. I'm happy with the way the exhaust turns out. It sounds way better than it did before. It did pick up a little bit of power, it feels like. It feels like it flows better. That's a positive note. We still have that recall issue. I'm gonna have to look into that, because if it is an issue where the accelerator gets stuck, that could be a big problem. It felt fine today when I was driving it. The thing with recalls is it only has to happen once, and that could be a huge issue. So we're gonna have to check that out and figure out what's going on with those recalls.